Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to St. Paul's Center. A special welcome to all the little ones who are here. This is a big time of the year for them, Christmas time and Santa Claus and all the presents and everything else, and jingle bells. It's a great time for the adults to watch the little ones. I always get a kick out of my children and my grandchildren every year when they're excited about Christmas. I have the honor and pleasure of being your MC this afternoon. My name is Frank Allenson, and our conductor, as I think many of you know, is Randy Hoover. Randy's from Orillia. He's got a very deep background in music, well known in the Orillia area for his musicianship and as a conductor. I'd like to present to you now Randy, who will come out and take the podium, and we'll begin the afternoon. The Orillia Concert Band this afternoon will perform a number of Christmas classics, including, of course, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, music from The Grinch, and many more classics. As an added treat this afternoon, we have the Orillia Children's Choir under the direction of Julia Johnston and accompanied by our own Blair Bailey. Julia is a professional singer who has taught singing, acting, and dancing for adults and children in Simcoe County through Express Yourself Performing Arts. Blair Bailey, of course, is well known in the Orillia area, and his resume is lengthy. Blair has been organist and choir director at St. Paul's since 1984. He is also the music director of the Orillia Vocal Ensemble. This afternoon's concert is brought to you by our season sponsor, Steve Orr of Dapper Depot Menswear. Jen Clark of Rustica Pizza Vino is our sponsor for this afternoon, and the Community Foundation of Orillia and Area, another sponsor. Today's concert is also being live streamed, and we extend a warm welcome to our online audience. We have lots of little ones in the audience, as I said, and we hope that they'll contain their excitement as we go through. There will be some times later on where you'll see what I'm talking about. If you haven't been to St. Paul's before, the washrooms are at the back of the church to your left as you go out, or up the ramp and to the right at the back of the church here. This afternoon's program, as I said, is conducted by Randy Hoover, who has a rich musical background, and if they're ready, we'll get right into it. With Angels We Have Heard on High, the Christmas Flourish. It's a dazzling fanfare, as Randy tells me, and I think you'll enjoy it. Thank you. Great way to start off a concert. One of the best memories of Christmas time is obviously the snow falls just around Christmas and the warm nights, and if you have a fireplace, if you're lucky enough, that kind of setting. And if you don't have it, I'm sure somewhere it's in your mind about that kind of a night and that kind of an afternoon. Christmas on a Snowy Night is a medley of some of the most popular seasonal songs that have become embedded in our Christmas traditions over the years. This medley will bring back memories for us adults, as I've just said, and hopefully spark some lasting memories for the little ones. Tunes like Let It Snow, Silent Night, and I'll Be Home for Christmas evoke scenes of Christmas snowfalls, fireplaces, family gatherings, and hot chocolate. Mr. Hoover, take it away. next piece that the band is going to play, I think, will be very familiar to, especially the young ones, if not the adults as well. There won't be too many who don't recognize at least some of this next arrangement by Stephen Bullough. Highlights from the movie Frozen. It certainly fits today's Christmas theme. Well done. That's a particularly challenging piece of music, and that was really well done. Congratulations. Nice. Coming up next is a special treat. We're going to hear "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," an all-time favorite reading this time of year. It's the poem that I'm sure most of you have sat with children or grandchildren at some point and read. It's a beloved poem. It's been around for a very long time, written by Clement Moore in the early 19th century. It's a story of a visit from St. Nicholas, and it stood the test of time. The poem, a favorite of young and old alike, is narrated today by our own Blair Bailey. It will warm the cockles of your heart, I'm sure. Blair, and here he comes.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that Saint Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Ma in her kerchief, and I in my cup, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, threw open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Rudolph, now Dasher, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. before the wild hurricane fly when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and Saint Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. Whew. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of his pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know that I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Well done. Thank you, Blair. Thanks to the band. That was fun. I saw some little ones out there with some eyes as big as saucers there for a little bit, wondering, what the heck? Who is this guy? Makes me want to run home and get into my jammies and have some coca and wait for the jolly old gent to arrive. Another favorite seasonal tune that's entertained us for decades, and of course the little ones won't maybe know this, but they might recognize the character. It comes from the artistry of Charles Schulz, who was the creator of the comic strip Peanuts, of course. The Peanut strip first appeared in newspapers in about 1950, but Charles Schulz's main character actually appeared in 1947. That's how long we go back. A Charlie Brown Christmas first aired on TV on December 9th, 1965, and what you are about to hear from the Orillia Concert Band is an arrangement by Carl Stroman of the music of Charlie Brown Christmas. Thank you for that. And thank you to the band. Christmas season is a special time for all of us, but I think it's the most special time of the year for children, of course, young and old. The spirit of Christmas is no better expressed than in the voices of children raised in song. The joy you hear in young children's voice at any time, but especially at Christmas, is a wonderful thing. And it's fun to hear them this afternoon out here too, because that's what it's all about, is kids having fun and not worrying about whether they're making noise or talking. That's what Christmas is. The music is the balm that soothes the troubles of the day. We hope you get a lift from this next performance. Today we're fortunate to have with us Julia Johnston, the artistic director of Express Yourself Performing Arts and the Orillia Community Choir. Julia loves to share her passion for singing, acting, and dancing with all ages in Simcoe County. A singer and dancer herself, Julia has taught children and adults in group and private lessons for 15 years. Her challenge is to prove that each individual has a voice the world wants to hear. The choir is accompanied this afternoon by Blair Bailey on piano. Great job, great job, and perfect for this time of the year, cold in the nose. The choir's next selection was written by Andy Beck and Brian Fisher, and arranged by Andy Beck. It makes me wonder if Frosty has branched out. The song certainly suits the season. The tune we're about to hear is called Showbiz Snowman. Nice job. Thanks, Julian. The choir will be back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for their Christmas concert. As I mentioned off the top of today's program, the concert is being live streamed to those who are watching online, and we hope you are enjoying the show the way we all are here, and we appreciate your donation. That'll help us continue to live stream our concerts, and you'll see that the coordinates for the live stream donations on the slide that's up on the wall now. Coming up is music from another Christmas movie that's become a classic. It's watched every year by millions. Narrated by Boris Karloff, it was first released on December 18th in 1966 in the US on CBS TV. How the Grinch Stole Christmas has several messages embodied in this story, including inclusiveness, forgiveness, and the importance of family, and many more. The movie and music is based on the story by Dr. Seuss and arranged by Michael Story. Tonight's rendition of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch features Tim Rice on tuba. Thanks, Tim. That's a great rendition of the song. Love the tuba in there. You did a nice job. If you don't have an earworm from that, you'll at least see bits of the movie when you get home later on this afternoon. Speaking of mental images, I'm seeing sugar plums and wondering what's going to happen next year. Could be that we're going to hear a song that's been around for a very long time. It's been around since about 1939, when it was first put together by Johnny Marks and John Tattenhorst. It came into being as an advertising gimmick for a Montgomery Ward department store in the U.S. in 1939. It was put to music that same year, and one of the first and best treatments, the first recording actually, was by Gene Autry. I believe he recorded it in 1940. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Take it away, Mr. Hoover. I'm hearing sleigh bells. Oh, we're getting a visit. Santa Claus is here. Thank you, Santa Claus. Thank you, Mrs. Claus. It wouldn't be Christmas without Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and a visit from Santa Claus. If you will permit me, I would like to take a minute or two here to thank some of those who made this concert possible today. First, of course, thanks to everyone here at St. Paul's who's listening and watching the concert on stage, and to those who are live streaming us. You are why the band performs these concerts, and we appreciate you taking the time this afternoon to join us here at St. Paul's Center. To our sponsors, without whom we would not be able to put on these concerts, we extend our thanks. If you'd like to learn more about our sponsors, you'll find more information about their businesses on the band's webpage. First, Mr. Steve Orr, proprietor of Dapper Depot Menswear on the main street, who is our season-long sponsor. Steve has supported the Orillia Concert Band for several years. And special thank you to our newest sponsor, who is sponsoring this afternoon's concert, Jenna Clark, who owns Rustica Pizza and Vino on the Mississauga Street. And thank you, too, to the Community Foundation of Orillia. A big thank you to the volunteers today, of course, and to the people who are handling video and audio for us. And I'm getting my words mixed and emphasis on the wrong syllable here today, so they're going to help me out. Mark Webster, who has handled sound, and Cassie De Silva, who's handling the cameras and streaming today. A big thank you again to everybody who helped with the setup. The slide presentation was put together with flair and panache and creativity by our Brady Aubin, who is the band's drummer. Brady's handiwork has been presented ably by Fred Cal. So thank you, too, to Blair Bailey for his reading of The Night Before Christmas. That was very good. And of course to the Orillia Community Children's Choir. Again, they're here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for their concert. And last but certainly not least, a huge thank you to our conductor, Randy Hoover. And all the members of the Orillia Concert Band who put in a lot of hours preparing for today's and this evening's concerts. We have one more piece to go this afternoon, our last selection. It's Sleigh Ride. I told you. I think I need to go home for an afternoon nap. It's Sleigh Ride by Leroy Anderson. Merry Christmas to everybody. Again for coming out this afternoon. Have a great Christmas and be safe.